What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson from Squad Sports, and this is episode number 42 of your sports sponsorship tip of the week. Awesome. This week, I want to get into prospecting. There's sort of a new piece of prospecting. Honestly, it's a lot easier to do. There's a lot more context with it. And honestly, right now, you're going to have more success doing this than some of the old tactics. As we know, brands are dumping money into digital ads. Why? Well, people are at home, they're scrolling through content, they're engaging with that content, and they just have more eyeballs on their phones right now. As I've said before, we have the assets to reach that fan digitally, YouTube, Twitter, all of these things. But now when we go out to sell, we have to have some context. And when I say context, I mean who else believes that YouTube is a powerful channel and it can bring them leads or sales? Who also else believes that Twitter is a powerful channel and they can bring sales in through Twitter content and Twitter activations? The best thing about that is if a brand is spending dollars on Twitter ads, they are interested in how your Twitter account can engage and connect. If a brand is spending on YouTube pre-roll ads, they will probably be interested in on how you can connect your fans who consume that content to their brand. I used to do this when I sold restaurant ads and paper travel guides. I know, crazy, but what I would do is I would go to the competitors' guides. I would see who was already spending dollars on paper travel guides, and then I would contact them. And the main reason is because they already believed in the platform. They already believed in travel guides as a way to reach travelers coming to the city. The same applies for this tip of the week. So the tip of the week is this: get on Twitter, get on Facebook, get on YouTube. Especially on YouTube, search for your team's content or hockey content or whatever your sport is. And I want you to watch 30 minutes worth of content and see which ads you get populated with, right? Now, I know there's kind of two pieces to that. Sometimes it's based on the context of your demographic and who you are. I would argue if you're working in sports, you're probably a sports fan, so they're trying to reach sports fans. That's why they're reaching out to you. On the flip side of that, they also can target based on content. You can actually target based on subscribers of a certain channel. As you watch those, write down every single ad and click on every single ad and see what they're trying to do. Let's say a bank is trying to get you to sign up. How are they doing that? Is it a banner ad with a click through to a form to fill out? If that's the case, how can you then recreate that with your digital assets, with your YouTube videos, with your Twitter activations, with your Facebook activations? How can you recreate that, but using your platform and then offering that as a sales package? See, that's the key. Again, if they're already spending dollars on Twitter, you don't have to convince them that Twitter is a good platform to use. You just have to convince them that you executing their campaign on your Twitter channel is going to be more localized, have more affinity, have more engagement. That's all you have to. You've basically taken half of the puzzle out of it because they already believe, because they're spending dollars on Twitter, that spending dollars on these platforms are the way to go. So again, the tip of the week is this: get on every single platform. And I think we did a tip of the week just for Twitter, but I want you to go on every single social platform. That also includes Snapchat. Get on Snapchat and watch what ads are coming through. As you start to watch those, click through and see what they're trying to get you to do. Let's say a bank is trying to get you to sign up for a savings account and you saw that on a YouTube video. Literally go to your local branch of that bank and say, hey, I was watching YouTube. I noticed that you had to click through to sign up for a savings account on YouTube ads. Was that a localized thing, or was that an overall nationwide campaign? Great. I would love to do the same thing, but make it even more localized with more affinity on our YouTube channel. Here's how we'll do that. Here's how we'll generate leads. Here's how we'll get the click-throughs to people to sign up for that savings account. Does that sound like a good idea? Again, you're basically just shifting dollars and you're convincing them they're going to have more success with you being the partner to push it forward with your localized fan base on that platform, rather than going to them and saying, hey, here's YouTube, here's why it's successful, here's why you want to be on our channel. So again, tip of the week is this: instead of prospecting saying, hey, how many auto dealerships, how many car insurance partners, how many grocery stores, how many restaurants. See who's spending on digital right now. And again, as I've said it, if they're not spending with you, they're spending somewhere else. You can actually see where they're spending, create a package that's cohesive to what they're trying to accomplish, because again, a Twitter ad tells you what they're trying to accomplish if you click through their funnel and then go back to them and say, hey, look, I noticed this campaign. I think we have a lot of success with our assets, with our fan base. Here's how we'll execute it, just like the Twitter campaign you have. Let's put together a package. That's going to bring so much context and value to the sponsor. You're doing 90% of the work for them. All they have to do is say, you know what, you're right, let's take this risk. Let's drop 10K. Let's put that into a few Twitter posts that leads and funnels down to getting leads. Let's see how it works. And then obviously from there, you have to execute. You have to actually build a package that's going to get your fans to engage and connect. So that's the tip of the week this week. Don't just go segment and say, here's usually who spends dollars with us. Actually see where the dollars are going. Find where you can be most beneficial. Let's say Twitter, you don't have a big following, but YouTube, you do. Go on YouTube and find those advertisers and then reach out with that context in the cold email or the warm email or however that is, and go to them and say, hey, again, you're spending on YouTube. I think it's a great channel. Our YouTube channel is amazing. Here's what was your click-through from what I saw. Here's how I'd like to recreate it, but with more affinity from our fan base, and I think we can get you more success. Is that something you'd be interested in? That's going to get people spending digital dollars with you because it's leading toward a goal, towards something they're already spending dollars on. Now all you have to do is convince them that your fans are more likely and your brand power of your team is more likely to convert there. Again, I can't stress this enough. Don't make your job hard right now. If somebody isn't buying Twitter ads or buying YouTube ads and you go to them with YouTube activations, it's gonna be harder to get them to say yes. Go to where the money's being spent. You'll probably find new partners. You'll probably find new segments you can tap into that you never knew before. You're going to open up new revenue. That's the tip of the week this week. Again, prospect through ads. Where are they spending? How are they spending? What's the click through? And then build another campaign with your advertising platform, with your sponsorship assets, with that in mind. That's your tip of the week this week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Remember, keep pushing those limits within sports sponsorship.